Sunshine? What is sunshine doing here? There's nothing like the perspective you get from a drone when filming indoors like a factory or real estate. But if you're worried about crashing your expensive little baby, then I've got all the settings you need to dial in to get great cinematic footage and fly safely. Oh, and a couple of bonus tips, so let's go. Straight off the bat, my bonus tips are: number one, have a spotter. So have someone with you that can keep their eyes for any potential hazards. Secondly, prop protectors or propeller protectors. Let's just show you how these fit on. I've left a link in the description below. You clip these together. They're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. If you do bump into anything, these will save the drone, it will protect it. I've done this, I've flown it into a wall. You can see it on one of my shorts and it just bounces off. I haven't tried it at high speed, but indoors, I'm not gonna be flying at high speed. This will save you and it will save damaging the walls or anything else you might bump into. I'll take you through the settings you need for indoor flying. So I'll just get these fired up and we'll go through them one by one. First settings you want to change are in the safety tab. So if you go to the top right hand corner, click on the three little dots, and the far top left you can see safety. First of all, if you scroll down, you'll see obstacle avoidance. You want to turn that to off, because if you're flying around indoors in tight spaces, it will keep stopping, it will keep recognizing objects around you and you won't be able to fly around smoothly. Now obviously you're taking higher risk there, but then we have got these protectors on the propellers, so we're going to rely more on that. Eyeballing it, we've got our spotter, so we need to take that off. Don't forget to turn it back on when you've finished flying indoors. Next, if you scroll down to the advanced safety settings, click on that. So you'll notice when the signal is lost, it's set to return to home. So we want to change that to hover, because normally when it's got return to home, you will have set this so it'll rise up to a certain height, which would be, for example, 100 meters. It will fly back to the last point. It recognizes where you took off from. And on this right now, we don't want it to do that because you don't want it to go flying up and hitting the ceiling. We come out of the advanced settings there and we get along the top, we go to control. And what we want to do is go down to gain and Expo. We click on there and now we can make adjustments. When we do this, we're going to be flying in cine mode because that's where it'll be smoother with the controls and smoother in the action that the drone makes. And we're going to fine tune this now to make those movements even smoother. In cine mode, you'll notice the first thing we have is aircraft. And for the maximum angle velocity for the yaw, we're going to make that -10. As you see, I've set it here. The lower the number is slower and smoother. Next we come down to the yaw. I've set that at 77. The higher the number, the slower and smoother the action. Next we come down to Expo and you'll see a little graph on the left hand side, so any adjustments we make you can see them happening in there. The Expo settings are for the controls and you want those to respond very smoothly. You don't want to be moving a control to the right and the drone moving rapidly to the right or to the left. The same with the up and down, forwards and backwards motions. So you want to smooth those all out, and that's done here. Firstly, with the pitch and roll, the lower the number, the less responsive. We want this to move really smoothly, so we don't want it over responsive like it will be in sport mode. We want nice, smooth, gentle actions when we're moving the controls. The pitch and the roll, I've put this on 0.3 and you can adjust it between 0.1 and 0.9. You could put this at 0.1. If I change that, that shows you how quickly it responds and how long it takes to respond. The yaw as well, again, we want this to move very smoothly. Again, the lower the number, the less responsive, and that's what we want, with nice and smooth movement in the yaw. And then the up and down movement, we want that to respond really smoothly as well. So I've just got that at 0.1 as well. Then just scrolling down to the gimbal setting. This is the camera on the front of the drone. Now the gimbal movement, we also want that to be nice and smooth. So the max control speed for the tilt is going to be set at 5. Now the lower the number, the less responsive. So we want that to happen really smoothly. When you're high in the sky, any movement looks very slow anyway, but when you're close to any objects, any little movement looks very jerky, so we want that nice and smooth. I've just set that at 5. Then the tilt smoothness is how smoothly it dampens out. And again, a higher number, the less responsive it is. And so I put that near the top so it doesn't just suddenly stop, it will ease off in the action. Now you've dialed in all your settings, before flying indoors, you need to master some specific drone moves so you don't suddenly crash your drone and it all ends in disaster. So go to this video here so we can go through all the moves. But first, show me some love, click the subscribe button here, and I will see you in this video here.